Good evening, everyone over there in the EU, and welcome to New You Life Freedom. I believe you guys do this meeting every other week. We do it every week in the United States on Tuesday nights. We have another one at 8 p.m. So if you're up late, or if you know someone in the United States, maybe you want to stay up late so that you can put them on this evening's meeting. But we appreciate you guys, and we're excited for the position that you're in, being pioneers of New You Life in a new market. You guys are in a very, very peculiar spot to be. It won't be the easiest thing because the key words are new market, but it sure can be rewarding for those of you that understand what you have your hands on and what you can do by building a business with this exclusive product that we're going to talk about. A little bit about myself. My name's Joe Juliano. I was the individual that met Alexi 6 years ago in April of 2017, and realized that this magnificent product had never been let loose in the domestic marketplace of the United States, and could very well be all over the world in a short period of time, and that's what happens. My wife and I have been in this type of business for 30 years, since 1995, and we're very thankful for what the industry has done for us. I want to say something a little different than I usually say on the New You Life Freedom at 8 o'clock for the US. I know that in the European Union, there have been many companies that come and go. And I know that there could be some skepticism, if you will, when you're in the EU, saying, is this American company just interested in coming in and doing a quick hit and selling a bunch of product and making money off us and then leaving? Well, let me tell you, many years ago, McDonald's attempted to come in to Europe, and everybody said, there's no way, we don't do fast food over here, and we don't want you anyway because you're not going to stay. Well, I know that France, the last of all countries to accept fast food, has more McDonald's per capita than any country in the world. And they said they were here to stay. I hate to make the analogy between us and McDonald's because their food is not great and we have great products. However, what I do want to say is we are not here for a quick hit. We are here to stay. We understand the magnitude of the EU. We understand the magnitude of the countries and the relationships between one another. I know you're not states like here in the US, but you're so close. I'm guessing that you all know people in other countries in that 27 country region that this product can be a game changer for them. And like you, hopefully, when you heard about this product, you were like me. When I heard that there was a transdermal human growth hormone product that was registered with the Food and Drug Administration of the United States as an over-the-counter homeopathic drug, the thing I said to myself is, this is for those of you that are hearing this for the first time, if you don't know what all that mouthful of words is, let me break it down for you. Number one, human growth hormone is the mother of all hormones that is with us even since the inception of, us in our mother's womb. And all throughout the stages of life, it's responsible for cellular communication, our breaths, our heartbeats, our growth, our sexual function, everything that goes on in our body. There are 12 glands and 50 hormones, and the pituitary gland and HGH is the boss and the key to those other 11 glands and those other 49 hormones. And so when I heard that you could get a transdermal form, I got very, very excited because, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you that don't know, for years, at least here in the United States, people have spent $1,500 a month, $3,000 a month, up to $7,000 a month injecting a large amount of human growth hormone. They actually call it in Hollywood the fountain of youth. Okay? Because of what it does for our hair, our skin, our nails. Sorry for the lack of mine, but I shave it every 2 days. And that's amazing. So I knew what it meant if you could have one that you put on your skin twice a day. We take it, we put it on thin skin areas of the body, these veins that are closely present to the skin. We rub it together, and within a few minutes, it'll be absorbed into my skin. That's a lot better than injecting. And also the price of $140 a month for distributors is a lot better than paying an average of $2,500 a month. And also a homeopathic dose, we call it micro dosing. This is what Alexi taught me when I met him. Alexi's our founder, and he's also our formulator, which, by the way, if you have some business acumen, a green light should just go on in your mind, because having the founder who's the formulator, not having a third-party scientist that can leave us, that makes us vulnerable in the marketplace, is an absolute plus. But he shared with me that if you're injecting, your pituitary gland senses that large amount of HGH and turns off. But homeopathic microdosing, we're sending a very small, minuscule amount of HGH to wake up the gland again. Because you see, when we hit the age of 30, the gland starts to dry up and shut down, and it makes less and less HGH. That's why people want to replace it. What we want to do is send that microdose of HGH and say, hey, it's time to wake up and go back to work again like you're 15 years old. We have proof that once we start using the gel, we start producing 800% more HGH. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you what happened. It took us about 8 months to put the company together. On November 27th of 2017, we launched. We were ill-equipped. We were underfinanced. We were underbuilt as far as an executive team, but it didn't matter. People wanted this gel. It was amazing. That first year was like trying to change the tires going down the road on your car at 80 miles an hour, but it didn't matter. We still managed to sell 500,000 gels and do 60 million in volume. The most beautiful part about that was we paid $32 million to people like you and me. I will never forget the first time I used the gel. I started using it and I was inquisitive, and it was day one, 2 pumps in the morning, 2 pumps at night, along with my wife, 2 pumps in the morning, 2 at night. The third night we did it was our 6th dose. The next morning we woke up and we realized that we'd both slept through the night. And listen, it was like musical chairs all night with my wife and I getting up to go to bed. Horrible sleeping patterns. I was like, what is going on in my world? It's a third of our life is sleep. Well, we slept through that first night. And after that, it was one benefit after another. It was sleep, energy, mood, libido, pain reduction. My wife's hair, skin, and nails was unbelievable. Her hot sweats and night flashes went away. There were so many things that were happening to us week after week after week. We were like, we got to share this with the world. So it started with my wife and I. And within a couple of weeks, there was 100, then 200, then 500, then 1,000, then 5,000. Ladies and gentlemen, this has went on month after month, year after year, since November of 2017. I told you the numbers in our first year. At the end of our second year, we did another 172 million in sales, in addition to the first 60 that we did year one. Social Selling News named us the #1 fastest growing young direct sales company in the world. I was blown away. We were still a mess. We weren't to where we needed to be as a company internally to take care of the demand. It didn't matter. We started Hong Kong. People from China were taking planes, trains, and automobiles to get the product. We opened Hong Kong. We opened China. It just kept going. And at the end of year 3, another amazing thing happened. We were named the number 40th established network marketing company in the world. Not young company, established, because of what we accomplished in several markets. And now, 5.5 years later, we are in 15 countries. As you know, we recently came in a not for resale facet because of what is going on in the economy, in the world economy. And we've been working on registering our product in the Netherlands. which will open up all of the EU. And it continues to be amazing. When that happens, you can add another 23 countries, but it will be in your backyard. It's not if it's going to happen, it's when it's going to happen. And if you take advantage of it now, I think that you'll be blown away by what can happen on a business scale when you understand that we're doing everything for you. All you need to do is use the product, share your story, bring on additional people so that we can help you build a distribution force that touches all parts of the world. And we're very, very excited for this fast start that you have. And with that, I want to bring my co-host on today and my guest, Mrs. Darlene Quinn. She's been great. Guys, listen, I have watched Darlene's health since she has been with us and started in the company as a pioneering woman in business in her previous business life. But I didn't know that about her. When she got involved in New You Life, her health was extremely bad. She was in a negative situation, and I'll let her explain on how the value of what the product did for her elevated her business mind, or woke up her business mind, and her business acumen kicked in and said, this is something that the world needs to know about. So Darlene, appreciate all that you've done. You're a key ingredient in helping the EU get off the ground. Welcome, and how are you this afternoon?
I'm doing wonderful, Joe, and thank you for that great introduction. I'm very excited to be here today.
Well, I'm excited to have you. Darlene, I think the first thing I want to ask you is, I went pretty hard on what you were suffering with, and just take a minute or two and tell everybody how bad it was and what this gel did for you.
Oh, man. Well, I was just thinking about that today, and I had a 22-year career, and I made really good money for a young single girl. And I didn't see myself doing anything else in my life. It was what I'd done for 22 years, and I loved what I did. And I was in a freak accident in an automobile that popped a clutch and trapped me under the car and took out my discs, my elbow. I took out 5 discs in my lower back. I couldn't walk for 2 years, bent a leg, actually held up a 1,700-pound engine with my left leg. And it was about to break. The bone bent, and they pulled it off my leg before it snapped. So I had a career where I had to walk. I was a sales manager in an automotive store, and which took me 22 years to get that job, by the way, to break a glass ceiling as a woman. And that industry was a major task. And obviously, I'm someone who doesn't give up. So that injury left me no plan B, out of a career. And today made me think about plan B, where I just didn't have one. And then in 2008, I had real estate holdings, I had stock investments, whatnot, but I didn't have like mortgage insurance, and I had 2 homes. So I ended up paying for two mortgages for the next, 4 years. And then 2008 hit, and boom, here we go again. And then I was in another accident, took out C2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 in my neck. And I was left completely disabled, depressed, started to age rapidly, could barely move, like I was a 90-year-old woman wrapped in concrete. And I really was not, I'd never lived a healthy lifestyle. Maybe when I was a kid, when I was 19, I used to ride my bicycle everywhere. And but I really wasn't a health conscious person, because I worked 1 million hours a week. My careers were very demanding. The second career, I was in construction, and I became a backyardscape designer, swimming pool construction, learned a whole new career. And then I got into another accident, and that's the one that took out all those discs, and it left me completely in a condition I couldn't even have imagined. I don't know if you know what it's like to have 1 or 2 herniated discs, but to have 12 of them at one time. I had a brain traumatic injury from a brain wobble, actually. So I had some memory issues going on. I became so feeble, and I literally was standing in my living room unable to hold up my head. I had to go lay down thinking, I think I'm going to have to look into a nursing home or assisted living. And I was, what, 55 years old. And one day, I was in the looking zone. You know, I was thinking, I really need to get ahead of this, because I wasn't even thinking about disability. That doesn't happen. Work ethic in New England, you don't even think like that. And I said, you know, I really like to get into an internet business. I know I want something e-commerce. And I'm thinking about all the things I'd have to do to open this e-commerce business, but I needed to do something I was capable of because I was losing my physical abilities to even drive. And then I got the 4-minute video, getonthegel.com, and I just looked, and I wasn't even thinking about my health. I became so excited that I immediately, the person who had chased me for 20 years, I now was on the phone chasing them saying, I want it now. I want to do it right now. Where are you? Let's do this. And that's how I felt the minute I saw the gel. I knew about HGH a little bit from the 90s when I had a lot of friends that were doing it, and they all looked amazing. I mean, I watched people transform in 4 months. So I was familiar with that. The gel came on December 8th, 2018. It was the surprise of my life. I went from broken, depressed, isolating, and miserable, unable to smile, to feeling a little better and being able to move. And the next thing you know, it was like a catalyst into a healthy lifestyle. Like, I didn't do anything different for 6 months. And I was afraid to even attempt to walk out my door, you know, like to take a walk. And I remember that first walk. I walked about 50 feet. And the next walk, and the next thing I was walking around a block. I walked for 3.5 years, 15 minutes a night. And it was like the biggest thing in the world to me. And so the gel has saved my life. I mean, literally, I really don't even think I'd be here had somebody not been kind enough to send me that video and share this gel with me. And look at me now. I'm here with my master distributor, my diamond ambassador partner, Kenny Olson, all of you beautiful people. And from this phone that I'm talking on right now, I'm in 8 countries with a digital distribution across the globe. And I might even be 9 countries now, and it just keeps growing. And there are people all over the world just waiting for me to say, okay, we're open there now. Literally have a waiting list all over the globe. And it's the most exciting, rewarding thing I've ever done. And yeah, you know, like everybody else, I went to a couple of things and signed up to things and I never did anything. So if that was you, and in your past, you got excited at an event, you saw something and you didn't do anything about it, there was a reason, because it didn't stir your soul. It didn't stir your passion. It wasn't a one-of-a-kind category-creating product that you knew was going to blow the world away. This has become part of what I see is leaving my legacy in this world. But I'm helping so many people every day that I completely forget about myself, whether I'm helping them in their businesses to be successful, or whether I'm helping a person feel better who didn't feel good, like myself, like Anna, who's the person that came to the event to, you know, and we were surprised with the UK opening. Anna, when I met her, she just didn't feel good. I wasn't talking all about the business. I was really concerned with her feeling better. And I think that this is in this particular business, with this product, with this company, it allows us to actually show our hearts for humanity. And we're all on the same mission to change the world and really help people here. And of course,
Wow.
as far as a financial vehicle, I mean, the money will come. I didn't understand the pay plan when I looked at it. I was like, whatever, the money will come. I just got to run with this because this is beautiful, what I've just seen. So
The
that's
money
it. So
always
here we
shows
are.
up. Listen, if you believe in something and it's real, you know, I tell people, a lot of people don't understand comp plans in our industry, which, by the way, I'll touch on a little bit. But let me talk about a few of the things that you said, Darlene, because they're important. Here you are, this feeble woman who's completely, you know, in horrible medical condition. You needed a new career. You needed life, and the product brought you back. But now because of what happened. This is where we're different, ladies and gentlemen. I want to be real clear about this. New You Life is not some money game. If you're one of those people that gets in every deal, every crypto deal, every this deal, every that deal, I'm just going to tell you right now, stop that, or this isn't the thing for you. That's not how we're built. We don't want you to be a distributor of New You Life and not use the products. We want you to believe in them. We want you to believe in us. We want you to believe in Alexi, because we're real. We're here to stay. But I want you to notice that Darlene didn't have any of this international business experience, but because of the validity of the product, because how it impacted her, one person spoke to another person, spoke to another person, and now she has an international business without overhead, employees, inventory, insurances, payroll, shipping, none of that.
Amen.
And what I love about you Europeans is you're different than us Americans. In America, we're taught to live to work. Or like Darlene said, Darlene, you were in a man's industry. You're in A, construction, B, automotive. You were built to work. We don't care how many calls you got to make. Just make the company money, and we don't care about your life. You work for us. Your life is ours. Well, guys, you people in Europe, I believe, are different. You work to live. Don't get caught up in what's going on in this global economy where I know your electric bill is 2 or 3 times more than ours. I know your gas bill. Well, what are you going to do? You're going to start living to work? No. Keep doing what you're doing. Join New You Life. Our compensation plan, I built it. Okay. And I get paid from it just like you. But I understood compensation plans. Let me tell you how I started. I started with a bottle of gel. I didn't start with how much profit the company's going to make. I started with a bottle of gel. Here's what I mean. We pay $140 for a bottle of gel as distributors. We get 140 qualifying points as well. Do you know how many companies do that? I don't know of another one. We get paid on 125 of that 140. I don't know any other companies that run an average of 90% on the dollar. Okay. I started with that. Our compensation plan, 5 of the 6 ways that we get paid weekly. One way is monthly, and that's our lifestyle bonus. Okay. Once you get to the top, you get $1,500 a month for life. Okay, and then that goes down through the ranks. You start out at $350. But what I want to let you know, when we built the compensation plan, we decided to give half of every dollar back to the distributor field. That's been averaging about 52 cents since the day that we started. Another thing that I wanted to do is I didn't want a bunch of cumbersome qualifications, okay, where you can't get to the money. So where most companies at the top position, you need to have $1 million, $2 million. Guess what? That's 100,000 at New You Life. And by the way, because a bottle of gel is worth 140, that's only 714 people buying one bottle of gel over a 5-week period of time to get you to every single red cent in the comp plan as a leader. Now, look, I know some of you just may wanting to create an additional stream of income and make an extra 10 or 20,000 or, dollars or pounds per year. And that's okay. What I want to let you know is our compensation plan is black and white. It's easy to get to all the money. It pays like no other that I've ever seen. We bring a product to the market that the world needs. We have 6 other product lines. In 2 days, we're launching our pain product, Somaderm Plus, that when you guys get your hands on, it's going to blow you away. I watched a woman last night talk about a toothache at a level 15 on the pain scale of 1 to 10. And she said, I put it on my cheek, and in 3 minutes or in 15 minutes, my pain level went from a 15 to a 3. So we're going to continue to deliver you earth-shattering products. And the sky is the limit, ladies and gentlemen. The sky is the limit. Darlene, any closing words that you would want to say to a guest that's watching before we get to the wheel and give away a few gels?
Absolutely, Joe. I don't think that people actually really fathom that they are the pioneers of Europe, and that, I mean, I remember 4.5 years ago when New Life laid out the plan of all the countries they were going to open. I still have this little schematic. Everything they said they were going to do in the exact order in which they said they were going to do it, they have done in this period of time that I have been here. And to be in that position, I think that we always knew that Europe was going to be one of our biggest markets. First of all, it's the most countries, right? 24 countries or 27 countries. But because they're more accepting of a holistic, natural approach to health, the US is stuck in the Western society, just coming out of it now. So I think that it is an absolute, there's so many people that are on this call that are already in this business that are going to hit the top of the pay plan. And they're going to be, as long as you stay and have a long-term goal and just be consistent, I think that every single person in here can be one of those, you know, add to the numbers, those 81 millionaires that were created. I see myself in those shoes. I know a few people I'm in with that I see in those shoes. It's a matter of where you want to be and what you want to do with this opportunity. It's really up to you, but look at the support you have, the master distributor, top corporate advisory board diamonds. We are so supportive. I've never seen that anywhere else. So that's it.
Well, thank you, Darlene. Thank you. Look, I always tell people you're one decision away from a totally different lifestyle. And I mean that. It's not some cute saying. You know, to have an opportunity to build an international business with virtually no overhead. I mean, we spend $140 a month that allows us to get all facets of the compensation plan. That's your burn rate. You know, with a huge financial upside, it just makes sense. And when people get on this product with a 60-day money back guarantee, mind you, where you're basically at no risk, you talk about low risk and high reward, you're at no risk, because for the first 60 days, and I really believe, I like to tell people mentally commit to 90 days, but on a fiduciary, being responsible on fiduciary, I understand how skeptical people are, but I believe in Somaderm. If you put it on 5 days a week, 2 times a day for 60 days, you will say to yourself, I am so thankful that I did what Joe said and what Darlene said. And you will build a business here. So this is exciting. Darlene, you have been fantastic. Kenny, let's bring the wheel up. Thank you for being here and doing this part of the meeting. And I'll give it to you for a few minutes, my friend.
Thank you, Joe. And thank you, Darlene. Great to hear both of you. The wheel is up. I don't have any names to put on. So as a reminder, if you are a distributor, your name goes onto the wheel for every guest that you have on this NUL Freedom Zoom. So unmute yourself. Let me know if you are putting your name, or you want your name on the wheel.
Here,
and
let me help you with that, Ken. We've got Eva goes on the wheel twice.
Okay.
I know Bill goes on the wheel once. Let me see, I'm looking through the Mac. Let's see. Okay, Eva goes on the wheel 3 times. Good job, Eva. And then we have, okay, and then 1 for Bill Royce. Is there anybody else? Please unmute yourself.
So Eva 3 times, Bill Royce once.
And David Tree as well.
Okay.
Yeah, anybody else have a guest on? And Eva, do I have the correct number? Well, 3 times is the max anyway.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
So yeah, as a recap, if we have 25 plus and we were at 21, then we give away 2 bottles. If we are under 25, we do 1 bottle. So we're going to spin for 1 bottle. And here we go.
Any help from Joe?
I got to follow the rules.
I'll tell you what, Kenny, I want you to do a second spin, and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna throw in 5 samples of the new product and mail it to the second winner of the spin today.
Okay. So Eva, if you can get me your full name and address. Darlene, do you have access to that?
Absolutely. Congratulations to you and your guest.
Thank
Way
you
to
so
go,
much.
Eva.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
See, it
Okay.
pays to be plugged in, Eva.
And we'll
Yes,
get-
it does.
The company will generously get a full bottle out to you. And then we're gonna do another. So am I removing all instances of Eva? And so now it'll just be Bill and David?
No,
Or do you want,
You can leave Eva on the wheel. Just put her on one time. So it'll be 3 even people.
so this is
And then
spinning.
this is for 5 samples of the new AWE product, which I love it, by the way.
Here we go. Eva's a 2-time winner.
Yep, Eva's a
Thank you so much.
a very lucky woman. So Eva, I'll get with you
Very,
after the
very
call.
lucky.
Yeah, so just Joe, you want to close it out or you want me to close it?
Well, I'll tell you, this has been exciting, Darlene. I was excited to hear your story once again. I've heard it many times, but it just solidifies why we have a business. It solidifies why we have a business, Darlene. And you know what? I want to turn it over to you. I'm very proud of you. I love what I'm seeing. I love the people that are having success on your team. You go ahead and close it, Darlene.
Okay, I just want to thank everybody for being here. If you're in the US tonight, we'll have another nulfreedom.com at 8 p.m. There are countries like Japan, that'll be 9 in the morning, in Australia that have been going to those freedom zones if you have people in those countries. And I just appreciate you all being here. And Joe, you reminded me of something today. Well, actually, I reminded myself. There was no even playing fields in that career that I slaved at 7 days a week, 12 hours a
There
day.
is one here.
Yes.
I don't care if
everybody's
you're a
on an
woman
even-
or a man or black or white or what, it doesn't matter. I don't care how educated you are, and I don't care what you did somewhere else. If you have the desire to be successful,
I
you can do
love
it.
that about this. I love that about this company. I often think about, Chris Cavanaugh, top earner in the company. He spent the same $59 you and I did, and Kenny did. It's an amazing place to be. I'm really thrilled to be here. So thank you all for attending. Our next one this is the last one for June, and I will get the May schedule to you. And the more people we have on, the more bottles we can give away. So have a good night and congratulations
Darlene,
to all our
we're
winners.
gonna do this again in June. One, right? We do. this on
No,
the
we
8th.
did 2 this month, Kenny. We're gonna go in.
It's only
Oh, that's
June.
right. I'm sorry. I'm wrong.
Yeah.
I'm wrong. Thank you for correcting me. Yes, I think
Okay.
it's June 18th.
Yes.
June 18th. That week, I'll have the flyers made up and we'll distribute them to everybody. So thank you all for being here.
So for June,
Yeah.
so for June 18th, before you all go, those of you that are in the EU, let's make sure you each have 3 guests on so that we can share. I'm sure that you'll agree with us that you want to put more people in front of us. Let's build you all a business. Let's earn you all a country and 27 more. Okay. All right.
Absolutely.
With that, God bless you all. Have a great
Good
day
night.
or a great evening,
Thank
and
you.
we'll see you again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night, all.
And-
Good
All right.
night.
Bye now.
Good night.